Season 3 will be with us tomorrow. Today is a big day for Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. The patch notes have finally been released and a few other teasers for us. I'm going to dive all into it all today for you guys. I'm going to break things down, what I think is good to pick up on, what could maybe get improved, what I'm actually quite elated about. I'm going to dive into it all today. I think today is a huge day for us and one that we've all been looking forward to. Let's not waste any time. Let's break everything down about Season 3 for Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. So yes, like I mentioned guys, we have now got the patch notes. We already know that Alex was working quite hard on this, and I'm elated that we have now got the patch notes for Season 3 for TDU. Now, of course, we already know this comes tomorrow. There's going to be a bit of a delay. There's going to be some changes. There's a lot of crossover. Jump down into Test Drive's Discord for all of the latest updates. But I think we've got something quite special coming here with Season 3. And I'm not going to dismiss anything. The couple of leaks we've had recently, the couple of teasers we've had recently, did start to fill me with a little bit of doubt. In particular, some of the releases we had around number plates and things like that. I'm going to dive into it all and give my reasons, my rationale behind this. But of course, we've got a lot to unpack, we've got a lot to look forward to with the new game modes. Like we said, some more customization, some more cars, the all-important solo mode, AI difficulty, which I know a lot of people have been excited for, and the new solar pass. We've actually got more information on all of this today. So let's start off talking about a few things that we have got. The new features, like they mentioned, the new delivery missions, the new solo mode. I think that solo mode is going to be attractive for a lot of people that didn't enjoy what was there already. So the solo mode is going to be huge, and I think it's going to see, a mass influx of players. But that also comes off the back of the delivery missions, back to what Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown should be. The previous Test Drive games had a huge basis on the delivery missions. For them now to return for TDU SC, again, it's going to be huge. We kind of touched on the solo mode, the AI difficulty choice. I actually didn't mind the way AI was. I didn't find it overly difficult the way the current structure is, but now being able to choose AI is going to be more beneficial for more players. Pausing the game. Now, I do think that is going to be quite an important factor. Yes, it's not going to be there across all game modes. We can't pause when we're online, of course. The solo mode isn't necessarily going to be offline, but it does give us the capability here to start to be able to pause the game when we're in solo mode, and it's good. It's what a lot of people want to see. So yes, they're listening to what the community want, and credit to them. Navigation mode, another exciting new feature. I think that's going to again drive a lot of interest in the community going forward. The license plate customization, I am going to touch on that one shortly, and the clan shops, it's a clan shop. We kind of understand what we're getting there already. But let's touch on a couple of these points first and foremost. So what we can see in front of us, guys, is some live gameplay. Fantastic that Alex has managed to share this with us before Season 3 actually starts. And coming into the elusive Highway to Heaven race, the favourite, the choice between solo and multiplayer. Coming in as a solo player, we can now come through and choose novice up towards expert race level, starting off these races, choosing the difficulty and the type of race that we do want to have. Into the race itself, that pause menu, we can now return to the lobby, we can have a quick restart, and we can abandon the race, something that everybody, I believe everybody, wanted to see come to game. Good feature, good upgrade. Next up, of course, we've got navigation mode, and another feature we wanted to see in game. We've now got it in Season 3, finding the way to Talamaka Hotel, analyze and plan our routes. Another fantastic feature. This is where we're going to waste and lose so much time in game doing all of these navigation missions. I'm just having a quick recap here of everything that we're getting. Up in the top bar, the progression to the finish line, 1.8 miles. It also gives you, the compass there to where it is we want to get. Another fantastic addition. Then we come over to customization. Now, I think there's still going to be a little bit of indecision here as to how we all feel. Great to see new wheels added. License plates, I still have a bit of unease with, and if it's the only issue I've got with Season 3, that's fine. It does seem like, the wheels and the license plates are going to be restricted to which clan it is that we're in. But the restrictions on those license plates is still there. Why can't we put the letters we want? Why can't we choose what we want? I like the styles, but I don't necessarily want that Ibiza plate. I would like to have Bryson as the reg for Season 3. But with all that being said and done, there is a hell of a lot of good features coming. If the only negative for myself is the fact I can't have my name on the registration plate, I can live with that. Perhaps in the future that is amended. But we of course have got the patch notes. Let's take a walk through this, and I'm going to highlight things that I like, perhaps some things that I don't necessarily like in today's update, talking about the patch notes. First of all, new cars in game. DeLorean DMC12, it is going to be cool to have another car, another classic car in game. Ferrari LaFerrari Aperta, it's going to be interesting to see how that one is. The Aston Martin Valor is going to be a ranked reward for a car. Interesting, the DeLorean and the LaFerrari are going to come via the Solar Pass. We're going to have to earn that Aston Martin. We'll see how that one goes. We'll see how ranked racing goes in Season 3. And then of course the Pininfarina Battista, that is now in the dealerships. That was of course the reward for ranked racing in Season 1. We already knew in Season 3 that was going to come to the dealership. Now it does still give me a little bit of an issue here. If we want that Aston Martin, it's going to come through the ranked racing. The Chiron 300 Plus we've had this season, well, it was largely unattainable. Hopefully there's now been a fix towards the ranked racing in Season 3, or essentially we're going to be waiting till Season 5 till we can actually get our hands on that Aston Martin. Now I'm not going to move away from new cars just yet. I'm going to talk about it a little bit more. I think we need more cars in game. Maybe even just more Asian cars. There's, for me, a lack of variety in game. Although there is a good selection of cars, I feel like there needs to be more. And the fact there's very few Asian cars in game, but there's an Asian dealership, it does bug me a little bit. And I'm not going to dismiss anything. I'm not going to kind of shy away from parts of the game that make me unhappy, like the registration plates and like the amount of cars that we have got. I feel like we desperately need more cars in game, and we desperately need more Asian cars. For me, it is a bit of an issue with the game. Hopefully in future seasons we do see this one addressed, but for now, 4 new cars when realistically it's only going to be 3. We aren't really going to be able to touch the Aston Martin. I think that one there could have been improved upon. Moving on to the Solar Pass, it's now a 50 level Solar Pass, and I think that's fantastic. I personally breezed through the previous Solar Passes far too quickly, and this season it is once again open to all players for free. Another nice touch, the first paid Solar Pass is going to be Season 4, so maybe making Season 3's 50 level Solar Pass more attractive is going to help out Nacon, KT, the devs, to having more players demanding or wanting to have a paid Solar Pass in Season 4. Gold and Silver Edition bonuses will be applied now in Season 4, so yeah, it's good. I like to see the Solar Pass has been updated, it has been extended. It's going to be interesting to see what is going to be added to the Solar Pass for Season 3. New live events, and you guys know I'm going to move straight onto this one. New live events, it will now consist of 5 races on both Ibiza and the Hong Kong map instead of just 3. Said it for Season 1 and Season 2. It's been a heart and soul of Test Drive Unlimited as far as I'm concerned, coming back every week to do these live weekly events. Well, we've now got 5 races opposed to 3, and it will be across both maps. New liveries, new clothing, new stickers, new accessories. I don't love it. Accessories is very vague, so it leaves the door open to something potentially cool, but stickers and clothing I don't really care for all too much. The stickers we've got so far for me have been very lackluster. I don't tend to use many of them. I have used a few. Clothing, it's always cool to get some clothes for our avatar. I'm not going to dismiss that one. Liveries, more liveries would be appreciated. To my knowledge, all I've seen so far is 2 Nissan GTRs and the Bentley GT Continental Hong Kong police livery. If we can get more set liveries, fantastic. I love customizing the cars. Accessories is very vague. I assume it's going to be avatar cosmetic accessories like watches, glasses, hats, rings, whatever it may be. Maybe in the future that gets updated. I'm going to leave it at that point. Now let's talk about what we're actually getting in the patch. The general fixes and improvements. I'm not going to list off everything, it'd be very tedious. You guys can of course head on over and read all this for yourself. But a new exhaust sound for the Porsche 918 Spider. Going to be interested to see how that one is. I've not used it all too much since the 918 actually got nerfed, but I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with this exhaust note, I personally like the noises it makes, but more from the front end rather than the rear. I love the noise off of the turbo. Improved exhaust sound for the 911R, improved exhaust and shift sound for the 720S, more on the 720 later. The Ferrari Portofino limiter has been improved. Now, there was a massive issue with the Portofino that the noise clipped at the top of the sound, top of the rev limiter, where the exhaust sound kind of cut out and it bounced on that limiter. So it's good to see that one's improved. It is something that did bug me when we were using the Ferraris on the Ferrari Birthday Live weekly event. Improved sound EQ across all vehicles, improved exhaust sounds, shift sounds and engine noises. Fingers crossed this will also apply to the anti-lag turbo. I think everybody's also had the same issue I have. Anti-lag turbos just didn't sound like anti-lag turbos, and the noises coming out of that exhaust didn't really replicate what it was. So fingers crossed we're going to see that one fixed with that improvement. An added penalty time and corresponding SFX when changing gear without disengaging the clutch when clutch is enabled. That's cool if you guys are using that. I don't think it's going to matter to a lot of people who are not using the clutches. Fix a crash when colliding with too many assets. Fix the crash when closing the game. That's all right, but there's also a crash when going in to do the edits on the cars when we're building our own tune. I don't see anything just yet kind of focusing on that one. Hopefully that one has also been addressed. What else have we got going on here? Rendering issues for alloy wheels and rims, fixed wheel sizes across multiple cars, fixed mirror logging on the 911 Adventurer wheels, reworked paddle shifters for the GTR, the 812 Superfast, the California, the Portofino, the 8C Competizione and the 8C Spider. No Audis in that list. Audi TT RS, the Audi R8, it's a paddle shifting gearbox, but the hands come off to move the gear stick to change gear. It drives me insane and it literally stops me using the cockpit view. It shouldn't, but it's one of those bugbears. Seeing the hands come off the wheels when we've got paddle shifters to go down and change a gear to come back up. Hopefully that gets fixed in time. Hopefully that is what this reworked paddle shifter of these cars are. If not, I may have to look into that one a little more. As we already knew, we were getting the Audi Q7 sunroof animation, added slider control to the volume, a couple of changes here with volume. We could maybe dive into another point. I'm not going to look into those all too much. What else have we really got that we really want to kind of focus in on here? Added road wetness information to convoy mission panels. Of course, we don't know all too much about the convoy mission so far, but the fact that we're going to know how wet that road is, I like it. Choosing the tyres for those missions for the convoys, I think is going to be epic. This one I do like. Added real-world time difference between Ibiza and Hong Kong. Now, it might not matter too much to too many people, but when we switch from island to island, I do like the time difference. So if we don't want to be on a nighttime Hong Kong wet island, we want to go over to Ibiza when it's nice and sunny and dry. We want to take some pictures. We know when we can switch between these islands. It's little things like this that I do like to see. So I'm glad to see that fix coming into play. Wrong price being displayed on Celine cars after a test drive. It's nice to see that also fixed. Fixed world map filters not properly supporting emblematic races. Another little niggle. Good to see all of these little niggles being ironed out by the team. Improved steering wheel animations. Right. Fixed binding error when replacing an already used binding by not assigning binding. That has been an issue with the steering wheel. I've not used my wheel all too much, but I have found a bit of a key binding issue on the wheel itself, perhaps on some keyboards. So again, fixing some of these small niggles. What else have we got? Cockpit cam on the 2CV fix. I haven't used it all too much, so yeah, we'll have a look at that in time. What else? There's a hell of a lot that's in this release, guys. We're just going to walk through it. I'm going to pick out ones that I find to be some of the most important ones. Fixed default car appearance tile not displaying for the 918 Spider. That was quite annoying, so it's good to see that one fixed. Anything else that I really want to be picking up on the initial part that we've got here? Fix various auto respawn issues during races, so crashing, respawning into the race. I have seen that a couple of times, so again, it's good to see that one being fixed out here. Fixed incorrect display of sticker list when making liveries. Yes, but I want to see more for the liveries. I want to see more options for letters, for numbers. I feel it's very restricted, but they are starting to fix the livery builder. Very happy about this one overall. Fixed wrong opacity on parked vehicles after leaving photo mode. Now I've also noticed this on my own car. Coming out of photo mode, the opacity was incorrect and it took a few seconds for it to re-render, so that's now been fixed. Absolutely fantastic once again. Fixing solar pass car texturing flickering when scrolling to the left. I have noticed this as well. So all in all, the initial fixes that they've done here, they've been listening to a lot of the bugbears from the community, and a lot of this has now been fixed. Improved accuracy for the AI whilst predicting collisions, improving the way they overtake, adding a spline for the base optimized race line versus a spline for the different offsets from other AI systems. Now this is good. This will change whilst we are actually in the races. You guys know I've covered it many times before in some of the videos about how the AI aren't really optimal for the races. If this has now been improved with the updated spline, perfect. We're in for some good racing with the AI. Moving on to the next part now. Vehicle dynamics and balancing, and this thing here, yeah, this is one of the big ones, guys. This is what I'm really much looking forward to. First of all, the 720S McLaren has now changed, as we already kind of knew, from a hypercar down to a supercar. It doesn't say anything about the pricing, so is it still going to be priced as a supercar? I believe just over 3 million credits, or is the pricing also getting balanced as it is now a supercar? Won't matter all too much, but it's going to be interesting to see if the price does move with the category. Fixing the clutch and the DBL11, fixing the strength to slow cars down in puddles. I like it. We want to see that realism dynamic, so that's good. The Green Hell Audi R8 from a rear-wheel drive to an all-wheel drive, fantastic. I don't own it personally, I've got the Decinium, but it's good to see that the Green Hell has been fixed. Active filtering on the 4C Coupe, not quite sure what that's all about. I'd like to know more. 1 horsepower change on the LP800 Lamborghini. Wrong tyres in the Cox Badger wall. Oh my god, yes. Wall riding dynamics. Increased friction force applied to vehicles when sliding along barriers and walls. Improved feedback, sound and vibration when sliding against the walls. I don't care about the second part because I don't want to do it. Increased friction force to apply to vehicles when sliding along barriers and walls. A massive middle finger to all of those wall riders, because it does grind my gears. The most recent video I did was all about wall riding. If this is another way of eradicating wall riding for game, or if this is the main purpose of this is to stop wall riding, thank you, KT. This is exactly what I wanted to see. Maybe they watched just yesterday's video. I wanted to see this happen. More friction, stop wall riding, get it out of the game. Oh my god, I cannot believe this has happened. I am so happy. This may just get rid of the nasty times on those leaderboards from the wall riders, and I'm going to come back to the leaderboards very shortly. Moving on briefly, fixed the wrong vehicle stats on the R8, the FXXK, the Ford GT, the Regera, the D-Type. Yeah, it is what it is. Fixed the Regera horsepower level, and yes, Audi e-tron GT weight has been corrected. That was far too heavy when we got that from the solar pass. It's almost unusable. The car was far too heavy. You could not get it slowed down. You couldn't get it turned. If it has now been balanced correctly, we may have a workable electric vehicle if it's one you want to use. I've been very abrupt. I won't buy an electric car in this game. I want ICE. But is it then going to make now the Audi e-tron GT on par with the Porsche Taycan Turbo? Fingers crossed, that is the fix that we have now got. So overall, the vehicle dynamics and balancing is exactly what we wanted to see, with the key highlight there of wall riders are getting nerfed. There's going to be increased force friction on these wall riders. Get them out of the game. Thank you, Nacon. Thank you, KT. Now we can go down towards platform specific. Now, I personally play on PC and I am the EU server, so some of this will be, of course, for me. Other guys that are playing this are on PS or on Xbox, you know, come through this list yourself, work out what's right for you. For me, it's all about the PC. Now, not all of these issues were crucial for me, but there's a couple here in particular. Fixed the soft lock fixed a soft lock when pressing the pause button while watching a Beefa's onboard video. Didn't really affect me all too much, so I'm okay with that one. Fixed a soft lock occurring when abandoning instant challenges. Again, hasn't really affected me, but if it helps you guys out, fantastic. Fixed missing DLCs. Again, I'm not quite sure what they are. I'll look to find out more about that and update you guys in due course. Changed the format of user graphical options. This will reset all graphic options and change the way options are saved to prevent further resets. And this is one thing I did want to see. My graphics card is more than capable of running this game, but when I run the game, when I run SARD and I run the streaming software that I do these videos on, it all starts to make the GPU struggle. And my graphics are saved in a very specific way. It's the correct balance I need for making videos and playing the game at the same time. But when I come back into a game, it automatically resets it to custom and not the custom options I have. Now I know when I go back into Season 3, I'm going to have to balance them all again. But with this fix right here, this should then save my presets every time I load into games so it doesn't reset. If this is the case, fantastic, and I'm very happy to see this. Fixed an infinite loading when buying cars in Selene HQ. I've not personally seen that one, but that's for people using low graphics. So, you know, if you're using a weaker graphics card, a weaker GPU, it's going to help you out a lot there. That's always good to see. Then we come into this one. And I do have a little bit of an issue with this, but hopefully it doesn't stay about for all too long. Temporary disabling the SARD anti-cheat. Now the anti-cheat is there for a very specific reason. We do need it in this game. There's going to be a period of time here where we're going to see a lot of the false times back on the board due to the cheats that are using the time glitches or the traffic glitches, whatever it may be. And it's going to suck for a while, but fortunately we've got deliveries and we've got navigation missions. Hopefully we can use them in this period of time where SARD's going to be down. Now it's going to create an issue for myself doing the weekly live events. There's going to be fake times on these leaderboards and it's going to really suck for actually building a competitive aura around these live weekly events. However, like I mentioned, we're going to have navigation missions. We're going to have the delivery missions. Hopefully we can be using them in the period of time when SARD isn't here and concentrate on those. Then when SARD hopefully comes back sooner rather than later, I don't want this to take very long at all. It comes back in and then we've got a fully balanced out game. No wall riding, no time cheats, no traffic cheats. We've got fully competitive races, we've got deliveries, and we'll have our convoy missions. All in all, that would be the perfect platform as far as I'm concerned. I don't love the fact that SARD's going. Have we just been guinea pigs? Have we been the test bed for SARD? If so, that's fine, but I don't want SARD to be gone for too long. It is going to create an issue with some of the races. Moving over to PlayStation 5, there doesn't seem to be all too many errors that have been fixed here. A crash happens when participating in the Champions Parade. That's gone. And a save game download error. Hopefully you guys over in PlayStation will now have a smoother game overall. Over on Xbox, they fixed a crash when opening the map after landing in deep water. Several memory link crashes. A crash could happen when while a vehicle was being... My god. A crash that could happen while a video was being played. A crash that could happen whilst fast travelling, a crash when driving around Talamanca in District 4, an infinite loading screen when exiting workshops, end of season rewards not unlocking properly. Totally butchered the Xbox break run through there, but that's good for you guys over on Xbox or playing this. A lot of your glitches, crashes, issues have now been resolved. You guys that are using wheels, it should apply to me. I don't use it enough and I'm very guilty of this. The Thrustmaster FFB not being reactive after pressing the pause button in game, that's now been fixed. A crash when closing the TSS handbrake and TH8A shifter. I'm absolutely butchering this, guys, apologies. The Simagic DS8X shifter bind, possibly 6th and 7th gear, and steering wheel animations for the Logitech G920. All minor resolutions here on the wheels, but overall good, and we like to see it. Apologies for butchering the last section. Over to the networks, better stability, better performance. I think everybody will be happy with that one. Then we get on to the last part, the overall summary here for what to expect next. Now, we already know there's more improvements that we want to see. There's more changes in game that we do want to see. That's fine. But looking at what we have got coming, suspension improvements, throwing vehicle with insane forces after a jump or taking small objects, that's been solved. This will be over to quality assurance. This is an issue I've personally seen in game and I'm happy to see coming in. Better collision improvements, better road wetness on events, more issues that I think we're going to find improving over time. The road wetness this year is obviously all about the convoy missions that we don't have just yet. No ETA for this one, but we'll see what that's like when we do finally get into Season 3. Now, I'm going to kind of skip through a few here because there's a couple I do want to kind of touch on, and it's a few issues that we've spoke about down in the server. Steering angle radius improvement. We have seen this at low speeds, that the cars are very lethargic turning, in neutral specifically. This is now under investigation. No ETA for that one. Friends list. It's frustrating, but there's still no ETA for this one. It is under investigation. Transmission clutch improvements. Vehicles sometimes hold a certain RPM whilst accelerating. I have noticed this personally, so yes, that's hopefully going to get resolved over time. Auto hazards bug solved to be deployed in patch 1. So when we stop the car, the hazard lights automatically come on. This is very annoying when we're on a convoy. We want the immersion, the illusion that we're all just on a road trip together. It looks like this is being resolved and it's now gone, guys. Thank the Lord for that one. Very happy to see it. Another one here, auto handbrake applies when you're on a convoy. I've never personally noticed it, it's never bothered me, but if it bothers you, finally it has been resolved. And overall, a thank you message from the Nacon team for all of us playing Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. So a full breakdown, a full rundown of the patch notes, lots to unpack there, lots to dive into, guys. Overall, massive improvements coming in Season 3, massive changes that are also coming in the future. I'm personally hyped for this one, hope you guys are too. I look forward to playing Season 3 and you guys joining me as I work my way through it. Guys, smash the like button, subscribe, all the usual good stuff. Stay tuned for more videos on Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown.